and welcome to this episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves where this conversation took place. Land which was never ceded, land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past and present and to any First Nations people listening today. Today I'm talking to Elias Salomonsson at Circl Winehouse. Circl is a wine-centric restaurant led by a team of friends and hospitality experts in Punch Lane in Melbourne CBD. Unique in concept with an impressive 1,500 bottle wine list and strong 150 plus by the glass offering, Circl wants diners to try some of the world's most exciting and up-and-coming wines, alongside European-inspired food with Scandinavian finesse. I went in to chat to Executive Chef Elias Salomonsson, who has worked for the Scott Pickett Group and VU Group, and I had a very lovely time. Elias gave me a tour of the venue, including a heady moment standing in the wine cellar surrounded by walls of beautiful wine, as well as actually talking to him. Elias has put together an incredible menu which has nods to his Swedish heritage, as well as some of Australia's best produce. Loddon Estate duck with Davidson plum barbecue sauce and burnt orange, and a Blackmore Wagyu tri-tip steak with mountain pepper Café de Paris butter. The menu also reflects Elias's love of caviar, snacks and dessert. I was lucky enough to try a glass of Albarino and the Circl Caviar Tin, which is a brown butter crumpet served with a little tin of seasoned crème fraiche, soft green herbs and Yarra Valley salmon roe. Delicious. Elias grew up watching and helping his grandmother cook. He's always loved food, and so it was no surprise to his family that he became a chef. He started his working life across the water from hometown Malmo in Copenhagen, and then he went on to Ireland. Then he came to Melbourne for 6 months, loved it so much that 10 years later, he's still here and cooking glorious food for us. Hi, I'm Jo.
Jo, Elias, nice to meet you. Welcome to Circl.
Hello.
This is Xavier, he's the venue manager.
Nice
to meet you.
How are you? Good, thank you.
Welcome. Let me show you around.
Please do.
Yeah.
Great.
Just grab a little notebook. So pretty much this will be the main entryway.
Yeah.
So basically when people come in, they get hosted straight away.
Yes.
We have a main focus of like booking out the bottom area first.
Okay.
So like very, very open kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, so you see where all the action is and all the magic happens, you know. Xavier said that all the magic happens with the wine. I'll say it's all about the food, you know.
Sure.
We'll meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So down here we'll fit about, depends a little bit on table configuration, about 28 covers. So we try to fill that up first. As we scale up, we're going to be keeping this more for walk-ins, because it is still Melbourne. Like there is still people that want to do that walk-in dining. It's kind of died off a little bit, I think. So like that's the future, right? Like to keep this area more for walk-ins. Maybe in the future we'll look to actually reconfigure it and actually have like more like of a bar setup. You know what I mean? But that's a little bit further down the line. But yeah, so very, very open kitchen. All the magic dispense bar, we'll call this. So all the wines by the glass and cocktails and beers and everything comes from here. So if you just look here, right? We have 4 vintages for 150 wines by the glass.
Oh my God, that's a dream come true.
So there is a lot of wines by the glass, all under Coravin. All
So good.
We have a massive like champagne focus as well.
Yep.
If you want to have a look at that, like that's the Bible we call it.
Right.
It's 130 pages or something like that.
Wow.
So there's just, you know, massive focus. Like the Psalms hate it when I explain it like this, but it's kind of like a lot of the time we do like wine flight, so it's like wine tasting compared with restaurant experience. But don't say this. I said that wrong.
Okay.
The Psalms hate it when I explain it like that. But for me, that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a big one.
It's amazing.
So like, you know, like a lot of people come in and like they just have a wine list sitting at while they're dining and just kind of keep reading it.
Oh, so much. There's so much to read. And where do you keep all of the bottles? Where are they?
I'll show you upstairs. Yeah, so we have 2 levels.
I think I might have seen a photo of that actually.
Yeah, we'll show you upstairs. We'll probably sit upstairs later on anyway. Come on through. So at the moment, like there's only 2 levels.
Yep.
There is a 3rd level, but there's nothing on there at the moment.
Okay.
But me, I'm pushing to have like a little function space set up, you know what I mean? So this is the second level.
This is like a wonderland.
It sure is. So more dining here.
Yeah.
We kind of keep it reserved for larger tables because it's easier to have your 8-packses and 6-packses and everything here than it is downstairs because it's a little bit cramped. And through here, private dining room.
Oh my goodness, it just goes on and on, all that wine.
Yeah, so you're always surrounded by the wine. You can't escape that.
I love it.
So in here we can have about 20 covers on 2 tables, or like a table of 12 to 14 if you have a long table.
Yeah. What was in here before? It smells very new, so it's all been redone, has it?
So everything is brand new basically.
Yeah.
On the bottom floor it was Bar Saracen.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah, back in the day. I'm not sure if they had 2 levels. I think it was only 1 level.
Okay.
Here, I'm not sure, but I think on the top floor was a hairdresser.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely changed a lot.
Gosh. Yeah.
You want to have a look in the cellar as well?
Yes.
It is fantastic in there.
Wow.
So I think the last stock take they did, there was like 4,300 bottles of wine in here. You know, like there's not a lot of the same wines. So like even when you look at the different tags, right? You know what I mean? Like there's only maybe like 1 or 2 of each, because we want to just keep changing it, keep doing new things.
Yeah.
Kind of the same with the food, right? Like you know
Wow.
like it keeps changing seasonally, and like we just keep doing new things. It's a lot of things to have a look at in here. My favorite bottle, which I'm never gonna ever buy because it's so fucking expensive.
Yes.
Is where did I put it? Is it this one?
Oh, don't drop it.
Yeah, well, they get very upset when I start touching their wine.
Is it a French wine?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, I can't remember. I don't think I sold it. Anyway, it's a 1978 Petrus. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I would like to drink, but
Of course.
me personally, like, that's kind of the whole concept, right? Like that's why we have 150 wines by the glass, is to make it more affordable to the average public, right?
Yeah.
Because you do get like a lot of these big whales, so to speak, that come in and they'll buy a DRC or a Petrus and they'll spend 20, 30 grand on it, right? But we're doing a lot of wines by the glass because me personally, like I'm not going to spend 2 grand or 3 grand or 4 grand on a bottle of wine, but I'll spend 150 bucks on a really good glass of wine.
So there are definitely people that come in and pay that though, $20,000 for a bottle of
I
wine.
mean, there's always people like that, right? Like
Who are those people?
Well, like when I worked at Viz, right? Like
Yeah.
one of the most memorable bottles, I can't remember exactly what it was, but that was like a $60,000 bottle of wine that I sold.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's insane.
Well, you have to love it, don't you?
Yeah, and like you need to know exactly what you want. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we do get people that come in and they know exactly what they want already. You know what I mean? Because they love their wine, and like I'm not. Like I love my wine, but not that much. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
I'm into
right.
wine. You know what I mean? But I let the somm do all the picking for me. You know, like
Yeah.
it's a lot easier. Or my partner who actually works in wine. So
Yes, yes.
if we go out, I choose the restaurant for the food, and then she goes with the wine. So it's a good way to kind of divide and conquer. We do have a lot of focus as well on champagne. Because Xavier, he loves his champagne, and not just having champagne as a celebratory drink, that we're trying to enforce, like you can have champagne with every course that we have on the menu, right? Like that's the whole idea of it. So not a massive focus on champagne houses, but we do have our Krug and Wordom and stuff like that, but it's more champagne growers, right? So like it's smaller, a little bit more bespoke champagnes. Just because, like, I think that's definitely a market. Can I get you something to drink?
Yes.
A glass of wine?
Oh,
Yeah?
that'd be lovely. Thanks.
Yeah?
Seeing as
No
we're
worries.
just-
Where do you want to sit? Do you want to sit upstairs so we have a bit of privacy?
Maybe, yeah.
Because there's chefs and stuff going to be coming in
cool.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that sounds good. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
If you head upstairs, set up, and I'll bring you a glass of wine, and
Perfect.
water and stuff like that.
Thank you.
No worries.
Alright, so this is a lovely Albarino from the Alpine Valley.
Bah, j'adore. Merci.
Voilà, ah bah vous êtes française aussi.
Non,
No,
je suis néo-zélandaise.
Got your little snack as well.
Yeah.
I can have one
Wow.
last snack, I say.
Wow.
So this is one of our best-selling snacks. So we call this the Circl Caviar Tin.
Wow.
So we got in a little tin, seasoned crème fraiche in the bottom, Yarra Valley salmon roll, and then some soft herb mixture, brown butter crumpet.
Beautiful. Goodness, I feel very spoiled. Thank you. How nice.
Oh. All right. So regular menu and then dessert menu.
Wow. Oh my goodness. How beautiful. Okay, so you've got. So yes, caviar.
So caviar is something I love caviar, but the price point of caviar is usually considered to be something that's not achievable for your average punter, so to speak.
Yeah.
I want to change that, same as Xavier's doing with the wine.
Yeah.
So that's why I've sourced transmountainous caviar from Caviari.
Okay.
It's a massive company. They supply caviar to 3 Michelin star restaurants around the world, and what they do is they just focus on multiple styles of caviar, right? But there's very different price points, right? So transmountainous, just because it's an affordable one doesn't mean it's like a shit caviar. You know what I mean? It's very soft, it's very delicate.
Yeah, yeah.
But like for me, like it's not about making a big profit on that. For me, it's just be able to get it as low price as possible, so more people can experience it. Same as what we're doing with the wine.
That's delicious. Is this like a little crumpet?
Brown butter crumpet, yeah.
That is so good. What a good combination too.
Yeah, we do make a lot of crumpets. So we call it the Circl Crumpet Factory at this stage.
Yeah, and how many of these little tins have you got?
I don't know, about 20 or something like that.
That's so cute.
Just
what a great idea.
Buy empty tins basically and just fill them up ourselves.
And what's the green?
This is a soft herb mix with dill, tarragon, parsley, and chives, and just season with a little bit of dill oil and some lemon zest.
So perfect, and these are just so buttery and delicious.
So yeah, they're cooked in brown butter, and then when we reheat them, we just brush brown butter on top as well.
Wow,
it's the best way to enjoy brown butter. Right? Like, butter makes everything better. I think,
that's right. Do you have a particular butter you like to use?
No, not really. If price wasn't an option, you could go with all the skewer butters and stuff like that from France, but I just don't it doesn't make the menu affordable, right? And for me, it is important that the price point is affordable, because we want people to be able to afford to come once, twice a week. You know what I mean? And if I start using too premium ingredients, it's just not going to work up, So a perfect example is the Blackmore Wagyu. So we're using the tri-tip, which is quite an underutilized cut, but it's still like a perfect steak cut, so to speak. I could have gone with a ribeye or a strip loin or whatever, but the price point of that is through the roof, right? So by using underutilized cuts or underutilized products, I can get a better price, but people can still enjoy, 9+ Wagyu. And I think Blackmore is probably the best Wagyu in Australia.
Yeah. And I see you've got some native ingredients in there as well.
For sure.
So that's obviously intentional to...
Yeah, well, I think when you're in Australia and you're surrounded by all these products, it'd be weird not to use it. We're not a native restaurant per se, but using native products just makes sense because you're in Australia, there is native products available. It just makes sense to have it on the menu, and they're so full of flavor and they're so full of life, so to speak. So I'm super happy with that. And
I just had a chat to Ben Shuri from Attica, whose book is coming out soon, and he talks a lot about, understanding the food and the cooking on the country that you're in, or the country that you're on. Yep. And I really like that idea. I think it is a really good reflection, isn't it, of where we are? Yeah, terroir, I suppose.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm not trying to do what Loddon is doing, where almost everything is native or anything like that. But I'm just using native products, not because we have to use native products because we're in Australia. It's because it works with the dish.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And
you're probably used to the flavors now as well, so you know what you can use and so on. This is so good.
Go on.
So you've got snacks. And then entrees, mains. What's the ideal way for people to work through the menu for you?
So when we first designed this menu, it wasn't really designed to be shared. But as soon as we start doing our soft openings, people love that whole sharing style of menu. So we quickly just kind of refigured a few things, like adding options for the whole duck and half duck, and same for the tri-tip, right? You can either get a 500 gram piece of the steak for 140 or a 250 for 70, you know what I mean? So people have the options to get either a big one or a small one, so same thing there, right? It's all about making sure that people can try as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because from an operation point of view, it'd be way easier to just do a 500 gram piece and a whole duck, right?
Yeah.
But then I won't sell as much duck or tri-tip, and I think that's a shame, right? Because I think people want to try it, but if you're only two people, a whole duck, it's a lot. Well, now you have the option of having a half duck as well.
Yeah. And where do you go when you start planning a menu? What have you got? Lots of ideas written down already? Where do you start from?
It's a very good question. I think it really depends, like, because this is a brand new concept, right? Like, it's not something where it's an already existing restaurant. So it was just trying to understand the brief of what the restaurant is going to be and what we're trying to achieve, and then you try to build something that's achievable within working the kitchen, which is obviously quite a small kitchen. So it's something that you have to be able to manage it within that kind of frame of understanding. Not the easiest thing to do, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of ingredients as well. So I'm thinking, I always admire chefs' palates, like to have, like these are some really interesting things going together. Pickled mussels, dill mayo, and potato crisp. I love that.
Yeah. So, especially snacks. Like I'm a big snacks person. I always think that's the best part of the menu: snacks, and then everything in the middle is great, and then dessert. You know what I mean? Like,
you've got a whole menu
exactly.
for you, yeah.
So what I want is that when people come in, like they just pick whatever really is appetizing to them. You know what I mean? All the flavor profile are quite different on there. So like there's nothing that's quite similar in way of flavor profile. That was intentional because everything can be paired with different wines.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you want champagne, great. Most of the snacks work with it, but if you want a special type of white or you already know what you want, like the somm can then help you like, oh yeah, this works really well with that, and so on and so forth. But champagne for me works with everything. It doesn't really matter what you have.
That's right.
But like our best sellers at the moment that we're kind of seeing is the Circl Caviar Tin, the goat cheese eclair, and the smoked eel tart. Flying out the door.
I bet.
And like some of this is a play on what I used to have as a kid, or you know when you're on holiday and you open like a tin of pickled mussels. You know what I mean? So we're actually serving that in an actual like mussel tin.
Okay.
Like that I purchased in, and then we build it up ourselves.
Okay.
So we have our beautiful mussels from Port Arlington with the different veggies or carrots and celery and shallots, and then we do a little dill mayonnaise with some hard-boiled egg mixed through it, and that's all served in the little tin.
Oh, that's cute.
And then we get a Japanese mandolin, so we just spin out the potatoes, brine it, and then fry it. So you get like long potato crisps that you then break apart, and like you build everything on top and have it like as a little cracker.
It's really interactive. I love it.
It is, and that's because I love that as well. Like it's great when you go to a restaurant and you get to actually like do a bit.
Yeah.
Similar with the caviar tin, you know, like you get to do some stuff while you eat.
And as you say, you know, it's evocative of childhood memories, so it's that whole Proustian thing as well. That's great. It's a special way to eat.
For sure, and like it's taking something like other people are doing savory goat cheese eclairs, right? Like, but it's not something you see all the time. You know what I mean? And I think that's a fun way of doing it. You know what I mean? Like, because if you don't have fun while you're cooking, that reflects a little bit on your menu.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's all about having fun, trying new dishes. You know what I mean? Like we're just in spring now, so even though this is our third week of operating, we're already changing our dishes because we're moving into spring and all this great asparagus and everything is coming in. So super exciting.
The weather is quite crazy. I think it was a bit of an early spring, and then we've had that strangeness. I wonder how that affects.
The asparagus, the asparagus is still going pretty strong. It's very, very like that. You know, the start of the asparagus season. They're super sweet.
Yes.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
So that's going on the menu next week, actually.
We have some asparagus, but the possums have got into it.
Oh God!
Why are possums into asparagus? Come on.
Yeah. Well, they're into most things. I don't have that problem in my house because I have 3 dogs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
right.
Most of the time I'm possum free, except for on the roof.
They
tend to hide out there, you know.
And do you have notebooks, or are you a spreadsheet guy, or where when you're having these ideas or you're seeing what the supplier's got, where does that information go?
A little bit of everything. I have some stuff on my laptop. I have my trusted notebook that never leaves my side, and I have my phone. Yeah. Right? You know, because a lot of the information always comes through my phone because I get email, text messages, pictures from suppliers of what's happening, and I'll screenshot that and I'll save it in my favorites. So like when I actually have a few minutes and I sit down and I start planning ahead, I'm like, right, asparagus is coming in, we're going to do boom, boom, boom. How is that going to work? Yeah, that's going to work. And then we kind of keep going like that.
Yeah. And have you got, is there a grill down there? What kind of heat have you got?
No, so I got a double combi, I got a plancha, I got a target top, and got a salamander.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it. So it's very, very small. I got a
Yeah.
fryer as well, but it's very small. So like there wasn't really a space. Like I love cooking over charcoal. It's not the space for it.
No,
which is a
that's
shame.
another whole thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But growing up, like when I grew up in kitchens in Europe and stuff, like it was very rarely that I had like an actual charcoal grill in there. It was mostly pans.
I feel like nowadays Jospers, they're a dime a dozen. Everyone's
Yeah.
got a Josper.
Yeah.
It's good. I think it's more.
Yeah, it's
not
fun
to
for
not have it.
it's fun for the chefs, to be honest, with a Josper. Like that's the main thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like like you don't have to have a charcoal. Like if I could, I probably would have a little hibachi setup, you know, because why not? But you don't need it, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like I've been cooking with pans more than I've been cooking with charcoal, you know.
And how many of you in the kitchen?
Good question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh goodness, that's
Yeah.
it's a small space. So,
Yeah.
how does the choreography of the kitchen work? Do you, especially when you're in front of everyone, do you?
Yeah, so for prep, we prep on both sides of that like kitchen island bench, so to speak.
Yeah.
But then for service, like everybody's on their section. And the good thing about a small kitchen is that you don't actually have to move that much because everything is pretty much within arm reach.
Yeah.
Which is very good. And on very busy nights, we might have like, extra people. I'll do the pass from the outside because it helps me to control it a little bit more. I'll help the front house run the food and so on. But it gives them a little bit more freedom in there to actually move.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it is a tight kitchen, so like there's a lot of slithering past people and stuff, but it does work.
Yeah.
You work around the space that you have available.
Yeah, yeah. And given that you're a dessert person, talk to me about the desserts.
Right.
So you've got some beautiful cheeses.
Yeah.
But-
So desserts. I like to have slightly different desserts. You know what I mean? So you get mixed classics mixed with some contemporary, mixed with some homemade kind of stuff almost. So we changed this a lot as well. Even though we've only been open for a few weeks, we do tart specials. Like at the moment, we're doing a blood orange tart on the actual menu, but usually we have like an actual tart as a special almost every week.
Oh wow!
Tends to be chocolate because people do love chocolate. So I think last week we did a chocolate tart with dulce de leche in the bottom. So it's like a dark chocolate ganache tart with stracciatella orange ice cream served with like a little bit of orange marmalade. Fantastic.
I don't have a sweet tooth, but
Yeah.
that does sound. I do. Having said I don't have a sweet tooth, I do like caramel, like so dulce de leche. But that does sound really good. Yeah.
I mean, even the chocolate mousse that we have on the menu, so we use 72% dark chocolate, so it's quite on the darker side, and we feel like we insert dulce de leche and Pedro Jimenez inside the actual mousse, so you get like that richness when you actually cut into it. Pedro Jimenez gel, chocolate crumb, and then crème fraiche ice cream, right? So for me, it doesn't have to be overly sweet to be a dessert. You know what I mean? Like you can almost have like savory elements to it. So the crème fraiche ice cream, like you get like that rich creaminess instead of having like a sweet ice cream per se. The dessert that we just had off the menu, that just took off the menu, was a vanilla and wattle seed parfait. And even if that sounds like it's going to be sweet, the wattle seed actually brings that savory, nutty, roasty note throughout it. And we serve that in a little tart shell with a celeriac disc that we sweet confit.
Wow.
So like that gives it that earthiness as well. And then macadamia and wattle seed praline as well. And then some lime gel just to cut through it. So that was almost like a savory dessert as well. And that's what I like to do as well, because like yourself, like not everybody likes sweet desserts.
Yeah.
So we always try to have like a balanced dessert menu, even if we only have 3 or 4 desserts. But you have to have a chocolate. You have to have something that's very fresh and light, and like a classic perhaps, and something that's a little bit more savory.
That's right. Just thinking about the wattle seed, I'm a teacher as well as a writer, and and the other day I helped out in a session where they were making damper with wattle seed, and the person doing it told me how expensive wattle seed is. Are all native ingredients expensive?
Not all, but a lot of them tend to be. Like your citruses and stuff like that. But a lot of the native stuff as well is quite strong in flavor. So you don't have to use a lot to actually get the flavor through.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I go about it. You know what I mean? Like I love the wattle seed flavor. Like that nutty, roasty flavor. I think it's so nice in desserts and even in savory dishes, but especially like with creamy elements. Like it just explodes. So when people like, oh, but it's so expensive, like, yes, but you don't need to use as much. The same as vanilla, right? Vanilla is expensive, but you don't need a lot to get the flavor to come through.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was speaking to, our school has a special relationship with the Wurundjeri elder Murrindindi, and he was talking about, he did a collaboration with a coffee roaster, because he said they used to roast wattle seed and drink and have a drink made from that. So they've blended coffee and wattle seed together. So that would be really interesting.
He
said it sounds like it's quite a smooth flavour, but with that nuttiness and slight fruitiness. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'll drink that.
Yeah, I know. I want to look it up too and find out how to get hold of it. But right.
Maybe that's a new dessert in the making, coffee and wattle seed dessert.
Yeah.
I can see that happening for sure. Coffee cake, wattle seed ice cream, like caramel in there as well. Yeah, that'd be a good dessert.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
Special next week. You have to come back.
And just thinking about, your memories of childhood and so on. So did you grow up in Sweden?
Yep, sure did. Yeah. I'm from the very, very south of Sweden, in Malmo.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to Copenhagen. Should I go to Malmo for the day?
Oh, Copenhagen is better.
Okay.
Yeah, like Copenhagen is one of my all-time favorite cities that I've ever been to. I used to work in Copenhagen as well when I was a young pup.
Yeah.
When I just started as an apprentice. It's great growing up down south, because up north in winter it is very depressing, right? Because you get 3 hours of sunshine. Down south, it's still depressing, but it's not as bad.
Yeah.
So, we can live with it. But growing up, my grandmother, she was kind of like in hospitality when she was younger. So there was always food around, she pickled her own herring and stuff. So when I was young, I still had to help her, prep the herring, get everything ready for pickling and stuff. And, being from that older generation, there was no wastage as well, right? So everything got used up as well. And that's kind of what I'm trying to influence on my menus as well, is that you use everything, right? Because or else like even if you don't use the fish stock, you make a use for it, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I have the bones, I'm just going to throw them away, otherwise I might as well make a stock. And even if I'm just using it for staff meal, at least I'm using every single part of the animal.
Yeah, and it's a good point that the older generations that's how they did things. I think in many countries. And we do talk about it now as though zero waste is a new
it's not a new thing.
No, that's right.
Even chefs for many generations, right? You're always using every part of it, because you're paying for the product.
It's true.
So you might as well use every part of the product as much as you can. That's why Josh Nyland, what he does is taking that to even the next level. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Instead of just making stocks with everything, he makes all this crazy stuff, you know what I mean? It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, and I was speaking to a chef that I think they have a fish dish that uses lemons, and then they use the lemons that people have squeezed to make into some kind of detergent or something.
Oh wow, that's cool.
I know. I wish I knew more about that. I feel
But what I used to do in previous roles is all the leftover citrus from the bar. You know, when they squeeze it and they do all that stuff, you made citrus kosher with it and stuff like that. So you try to utilize as much as you can. And there's obviously programs that's implemented where restaurants keep all their oyster shells, and then they get redispersed into the ocean to help the growth of
the reef and stuff. Yeah.
So there is a lot of these kind of projects happening.
It's something to do with shuck. There's a play on words. I've heard that.
Chuck it, or Chuck it is actually a dog toy.
Something like
something along those lines.
Not get shucked, but something. I don't know, something like that. Yeah. And so you saw your grandmother doing all of that, but at what point did you think chef life would be for you?
Pure accident, to be honest. I've always loved food, so when I decided to become a chef, it wasn't a surprise to my family. So they're like, oh, that was always going to happen at some stage. I was going to be a fireman, actually.
Oh wow, that's a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why, but that was the plan. But I like most chefs, school was not really my forte, right? So the school system is a little bit different in Sweden. So when instead of going to college and university and stuff, I went to something that's similar to what a TAFE would be in Australia, which basically prepares you for going into the working world. But it's like your high school in Australia.
Oh, yes.
If that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that before. Yes.
So once you finish year 9, you then go to like college or whatever you want to call it, where you either keep studying whatever you want to specify in, science, social science, whatever it might be, where the year I was going to apply to go into like something that guides you towards, ambulance, fire, police, and military. You had to have like top-notch grades. I'm like, I'll do something else. I'm like, cooking was always my second choice. Got in and just fell in love with it. Never looked back.
Yeah. And what do you love about it? Is it the creativity? Is it the thrill of service? Is it pleasing people?
Yeah, it's not just one thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely like that's why I love an open kitchen as well, right? Because when you serve a dish and people are eating and you can see on their face like that enjoyment. You're like, oh yeah, that's good. Like that's you like, oh yeah, I nailed that on the head. That dish is spot on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's creating memorable experiences. I think that's what hospitality is all about. You know what I mean? Like it's not just like, oh, I'm going out for a bowl of pasta and then forget all about it. No, like I want you people to come in and just like, I'll remember this night for 10 years. Like when I used to live in Ireland before I came to Australia. And I still remember to this day, I went to Patrick Gubo in Dublin. It's obviously a 2 Michelin star restaurant. I still remember this green apple parfait I had, and that was 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Still remember, like vividly. I remember the plating and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it's all about, right? Having these experiences where it just blows your mind.
Yes.
Sometimes you blow it big and sometimes you blow it small. But it's just people need to come and have a great time.
Yeah.
I think that's what we do.
Yeah, and it is hospitality. You are, you're looking after people.
Exactly. Yeah, like it's like that's like you're servicing people, right? Like you're doing it in a way that they're relaxed, they're just having a good time, and they want to come back.
Yeah. And did you have chefs when you were learning, chefs that stand out for you, that there were particular things you liked about the way they did things?
I mean, 100%. Like I think as a chef, like you're never, like you keep learning, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how far ahead you are in your career or you're just starting and stuff like that. Like I've always had the impression that you need to be like a sponge, absorb as much information as you can. You know what I mean? The bad stuff, you just squeeze it out that you don't need. You know what I mean? Like all the toxicity and stuff like that. Like I'm not about it. Like it does not have a place in my kitchens, you know what I mean? But all the positive things, like, like all the way of managing staff, the way of cooking, like everything, just retain as much as possible and just learn as much as possible.
And at what point did you have that head chef role? Was that?
Oh, I started when I was quite young, actually. Cause I started working in the industry when I was like 15, 16.
Okay, so yeah.
So I like the classic hospital story, right? And then when I got to Australia, I did the classic working holiday visa. I was almost going to be here for a year, and 10 years later, I'm still here.
Oh, I hear that story so often. Actually, every time.
Especially in Melbourne. Like I love Melbourne. Like it's such a good city.
And did you come straight to Melbourne?
I was in Melbourne first,
yeah,
because I had friends here and stuff like that. And then I went on my little trip up along the East Coast, picked zucchinis and all that kind of stuff. Not a time, not a time at all. I just realized that doing the classic working holiday visa thing is not for me. So I decided I want to stay in Australia for at least another few years. So I went to basically with the mindset of getting a sponsorship.
Yeah.
So we started working in smaller cafe, wine bar type things, and just out of necessity, I got a head chef role there as my first head chef because the head chef left. They had no one. They're like, "Can you do it?" I'm like, "Sure, let's do it," and just kind of went with it. And there, learned a lot from mentors throughout my years. Just recently before I started with these guys, I was the group executive sous chef for Pickett.
I love Scott.
Scott is such a good mentor, and his executive chef, Stuart McVeigh, one of the best chefs I've ever worked for in my life. He's just amazing, cool, calm under pressure, you know what I mean? Has that, that same mentality that I'm achieving to have, you know what I mean? Even I only worked for him for 2.5, 3 years or whatever it was, I learned so much in that time because I have that mentality of absorb as much information as you can,
Yeah. It's such great restaurants too, aren't they? Scott's restaurants. Yeah, I've spoken to a few chefs from that group. So yeah, and so you worked in Copenhagen as well, and Dublin.
Not in Dublin. I worked in just outside of Limerick, so the what's that, southwest of Ireland.
Okay.
So I basically went there to finish my apprenticeship because I've always been good with English. Like in Sweden, you learn English from a very, very young age. So they offered me like, oh, do you want to do all your courses in English and then maybe go to Ireland? I'm like, why not? You know what I mean? Like, because ever since I was young, I've always known that I'm not going to live in Sweden. Sweden is too small.
Okay.
Like my hometown is 350,000 people. It just feels like you know everyone, and everybody was happy doing their own, get a family straight away, buy a house, and I'm like, well, I want to travel and experience the world, so I'm not going to do that. And Sweden just always felt a little bit too small for me.
Yeah.
But that's why I love Melbourne, right? Because Melbourne is still, the CBD is still a fully fledged big restaurant. A big city in the world, but still, like, you go 15-20 minutes out and you're in suburbia. You know what I mean? So like, it's not like you're in New York where everything is just skyscrapers everywhere, which I don't really like. Like, it's nice to go there for the but after that, like, I like having my house with a garden, the parks, you know what I mean? Like, walk my dogs in private, you know?
Yeah, that's right. I'm from Christchurch in New Zealand, and that's like about 400,000 people, and I think Melbourne is obviously much bigger, but it's quite accessible. It feels approachable because, as you say, there's the city, but it's a manageable city.
Yeah.
And then I love that you can pretty much live in your suburb as well, because there's always amazing little wine bars and
for sure.
What do they call them? Shopping strips, and I just love all that kind of stuff.
I mean, where I live, I'm so close to I live in Balwyn North, and like my local restaurant now is Bochachos, like. Oh. Like, so that's my local IGA, my local wine cellar, and my local restaurant. Like, it's great.
So nice.
Yeah,
I teach at Camberwell Girls.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's just up the road from there.
Yeah, I mean, Bochachos is, I love going there in the deli, like just buying mortadella.
I just like walking around those places. It's going, wow.
Yeah, it's an expensive habit to do though, because once you start, you can't stop, you know. And they have a very, very good cellar there as well. Yes. So I'm banned from going in there. Because I'm like, oh, that's nice, you know. Yeah. Going with my little collection at home, you know.
And you were saying before that you like going out to eat. Do you cook at home as well?
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I love going out to eat, but it takes a lot of time, and time is like a precious commodity, right? Oh, yeah. So a lot of the time, especially now with opening a new restaurant, like, you know, time is of the essence, so to speak. And my partner is almost busier than me because, you know, she's working her full-time job and she's directing a show and she's going to direct another show. Oh. Like, so yeah, she's busier than me, basically.
Like a theatre?
Musical, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So she's her first show is tonight for the new one that she's directing, down in St. Kilda.
Oh.
Just a little cheeky, a chorus line it's called.
Oh, that's so great. Okay, wow.
So I'm going to see that tomorrow. But like, I love cooking at home because, you know, like, it's also more affordable to cook at home than anything. And, you know, when my partner, when she's working her day job, which is within wine, like, it's always nice that she can bring a little lunch with her. So, like, my favorite thing to cook at home is probably lasagna.
Really?
I love lasagna.
And have you got like a, you know, because lasagna, it's quite time consuming, isn't it? If you, do you...
Yeah, yes and no. Like, you know, like, it's all about planning ahead, right? So,
yeah. Actually, so when I just spoke to Ben Shuri, he reckoned, we talked about lasagna, and he said he's got, maybe it was bolognese. But anyway, he said it's funny growing up in New Zealand, cooking things like bolognese and lasagna, which were Italian, and funny. Have you got like your fixed recipe, or do you play around with it?
Like, it really depends on what the vibe is of when I'm cooking, you know. like if I have the time, I will, you know, start cooking my sauce like in the morning, have that ready by night, and then build it and cook it off. I love cheese, so it's usually a cheesy affair as well. And just depending on what I have in the fridge, you know what I mean? Like, I hate, like I said, I hate waste. So, like, you know, like, it's not your traditional veggies, but I chuck in a little bit of everything just to use it up, you know?
Yeah, nice.
Same as, like, you know, leftover pieces of cheese and stuff like that. Like, you know, Parmesan rind, you'll always find that in my fridge, you know what I mean? Because I just chuck that into sauces. It gives it that thick umami flavor. Yeah. Anything cream related always gets a little bit of Parmesan rind in there.
So good. Right? Wow. Okay. Try that.
Yeah.
I have heard that. I do like cooking, but I don't. I need to do a few more these more refined tips and tricks.
I mean, like, in general, like my partner, she usually says the same thing. Like, well, how do you do it? I'm like, well, I've been doing this my whole life. I've done nothing else. So for me, like she can cook, right? Like, you know, like for a home cook, like she's great, like, because she's learning to understand flavors and how it all works together. The thing is, like, for me to cook a quick stir fry versus her is like, for me, it'll take 10-15 minutes, just chop, off you go.
Yes.
But what's for her, like, she wants to, like, prepare everything. That's there, you know what I mean? Whereas for me, like, my brain is not even switched on, you know, like, you just make it.
Oh, absolutely. And I could watch that for hours, chefs chopping, just the way, I mean, there's no way I can ever do that.
Yeah. I mean, and like, I get a lot of questions, you know, like from people who are outside the industry, like, well, how did you learn? I was like, well, when I was an apprentice, I was given a 20-kilo bag of onion, and I was given a knife, and I start slicing. Cool. And then you just start slicing, you slice the whole 20-kilo bag, and after that you learn how to hold your knife the best way that suits you, how to, you know, like, protect your fingers. And after you're done with the onions, they give you 4 boxes of button mushrooms, and let's start quartering. So you just learn these techniques by doing a lot of repetitive tasks.
Yeah. Wow. That just made me think of The Bear, season 2, where all the different chefs are having their different little moment. Have you watched that?
I still haven't watched it, actually.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Season 1's very stressful, and so is season 3, but season 2 is a thing of pure cinematic beauty where they go off onto each chef's story, and that's what made me want to go to Copenhagen, because one of them goes on a stage and stays on a canal boat, and I was like, I want to go there. But yeah, just watching them do that, and there's a great scene of them peeling mushrooms, but yeah.
Copenhagen it's my favorite. It's so good. It's just everything about it, like the actual just walking around, like, it's just an older city, right? So there's so much history to look at, restaurants, breweries, you know, little bakeries and stuff like that. Like, the bakeries are phenomenal in Copenhagen. Heart Bakery is definitely a place you should go to.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
And it'll be getting a bit cooler, I think, by the time I get there. I'm there in late October.
Yeah, like it'll definitely be in autumn, but like you'll still get some decent days, hopefully.
Okay.
Knock on wood.
Great, can't wait.
Have you never been to Copenhagen?
No.
Oh, yeah, like there's so many good restaurants to go to as well. You know, you obviously have all like the Michelin star restaurants and stuff like that, but like restaurants that I really want to go to when I go back home is Bar, Barr.
Okay.
I think they have a star as well, but it just looks like my exact type of like Nordic style cooking.
All right.
Have a look on that on Instagram.
I'll look at it. Yeah, I'll look
it's
it up.
fantastic.
It's actually the only time in the 6 weeks I'm away that I'm by myself, so I'm just going to.
Fantastic! Yeah, fantastic. Look, like if you have a spare day, like you can definitely go over to Sweden. Like it's very easy. It's a 20-minute train ride or half an hour train ride over. So like even when I worked in Copenhagen, like I still lived in Malmo. And I just took the train over.
Yeah, right.
Which is very common in Malmo. Like a lot of people work in Copenhagen.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to Amsterdam, and I've never been there either, so that looks pretty as well.
Yeah.
But with all that in mind, what would your advice be to a young person starting out as a chef?
Like 2020 hindsight, right? Like I wish that I'd been more of a sponge, right? Like really just absorb all that information. Like you try your best when you're younger, but it gets easier when you have a bit more understanding of it. But like do a little bit of research, try to figure out what it is that you want to learn, right? And then try to find who does that the best, or who you want to learn from, and then just go there and be a fly on the wall, be a sponge, absorb as much information as you can, and just learn, right? Like in the beginning, like it shouldn't be about like salary and this, that, and the other. Like now, it should be about picking up all that useful skills that you're gonna have for the rest of your life.
Perfect. Thank you, and thank you for this delicious food and wine.
No
so
worries.
Great, I love it.
No worries at all.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Elias Salomonsson at Circl Winehouse. You can check out some really great photos and videos on Instagram at Elias_Salo, that's ELIAS_SALO, and also at Circl Winehouse. Circle doesn't have an E, I didn't ask about that, you could. That's at CIRCLWINEHOUSE. If you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read the chat and become a subscriber, which I just think is the coolest thing to do. Then you're part of some kind of secret club. at www.conversationwithachef.com. And of course, you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. You could even give me a 5-star review if you think I deserve it. I would absolutely love it if you told a friend about my chats, because that's still the best way to get the stories out there. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.